Win Anyway live Sunday night. What would you do with a do over? This weekend, yesterday, I spent 3 hours watching the Snyder cut of Justice League. And today I watched the final hour of the 4 hour epic. For those of you who aren't in the know, the Justice League movie, way back when, I think 3 years ago, came out. Zack Snyder was the director and had directed most of it and then pulled out because his daughter committed suicide. Very sad situation. And he had to obviously take care of personal matters. And they brought in Joss Whedon from the Avengers to finish the Justice League movie. Josh basically refilmed quite a bit of it, changed the tone so that it was more like a Marvel movie, and everybody thought, hey, great. Zack Snyder is admittedly a bit gritty and dark. Anybody who watched Batman vs. Superman would know that it was pretty gritty and pretty dark. And people were afraid that that was the tone Justice League was going to take, and everything up to that point indicated that it was. So when Joss Whedon came in, he worked to change all that, shot new scenes with additional humor, changed the visual tone of the movie to something brighter. Well, the movie came out and pretty much flopped. I mean, it made back its money, but it didn't really make a profit, and nobody was really all that impressed with it, critically or fan wise. So, this big upswell came from fans. Let Zack Snyder finish the movie himself, which nobody thought would actually happen. It was just kind of one of those fan things. Yeah, let's make this trend on Twitter. But after a couple of years, Warner Brothers and HBO got together and funded the Snyder Cut. Snyder spent the last year or so reshooting with the original actors, adding material, getting material that was cut from the original film that they shot way back when, and putting together what was going to be a 2.5 to 3 hour film, putting it together in a 4 hour extravaganza that was finally released last week. It was kind of a flagship product of the new HBO Max. So that's the background, if you don't know the background of the Snyder Cut of Justice League. So I watched it, and I'm not going to review it. I watched it. That's not even the point. The point is, Zack Snyder got a do-over. The kind of do-over most people never get. The kind of do-over nobody thought would happen. And what he's done with it, that's for the critics and the fans to decide. But he's clearly happy with it. He had a chance to right the wrongs that he felt were done to his film back when Joss Whedon had to step in and take over. There are always times in our lives, and I know there are times in my life, I'm willing to bet there's a time in your life, maybe more than one, that you wish you could have had a do-over. If you could have handled something differently, followed through on a project differently, delivered a speech differently, written a paper differently, handled a relationship differently, and you wish you could go back in time and redo it, do it differently. But you see, Zack Snyder didn't go back in time. He moved forward in time and had the chance to get a do-over of something he had already worked on. And we can have those chances too, believe it or not. There are times when we can get a do-over moving forward at work, in our relationships, with our kids. I mean, every day is another chance for a do-over to try to do better tomorrow than we did today or yesterday. Obviously, the longer it goes, the more time passes from when we first did something to when we can get that do-over, create that do-over for ourselves, the harder the do-over can become. But that doesn't mean that we can't get that do-over. It doesn't mean that we can't go back and rekindle a relationship with our kids, our parents, our old friends that maybe went awry at some point because we didn't handle it the way we wanted to handle it. You can get your do-over. You just have to be willing to go in and make it happen. And then at the end of the day, you do your do over. Maybe it works out the way you want. Maybe it doesn't work out the way you want. But you don't have to sit and regret what you didn't do the first time, because the second time you gave yourself the opportunity to do it right. And how the other people handle it, how the fans, how the critics, how your boss, how your relationships, whatever it is, how it gets handled from the outside view doesn't matter, as long as you have managed to find a way to get that do-over for yourself so that you can have some emotional closure or artistic closure, whatever kind of closure you're looking for. Go after that do-over yourself and find a way to win anyway. We'll see you tomorrow on Win Anyway Live.